Hello and welcome to Better Together, the podcast where creativity, community, and human potential come together. Today we are joined with the wonderful crew of Work Skills Foundation, specifically Artisan Corner. My name is Kelly Borg. I'm the Development Director at Work Skills Foundation, and we're joined with Michelle and Gracie, who help run Artisan Corner, and then Liz, who is a wonderful artist. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
So this is my first time doing a podcast, and I thought just to alleviate some nervousness, we would just do some fun, quick questions. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, great. What's your favorite color?
Red.
Green.
Green. Favorite food to eat?
Mangoes.
Ooh.
Tacos. Everything.
Ooh, yeah. I don't have a favorite, I don't think.
Mine is anything breakfast. Do you like markers or paint best?
It depends on what I'm doing.
Okay. Anyone else?
Paint.
Paint?
Yeah, definitely paint.
I like painting too, but I like painting walls or furniture. Are you more creative in the morning or at night?
Definitely at night.
At night?
Yep.
Midday.
Yeah, I would say midday.
I'm a night owl too. I like that better. When you're being creative, do you like music or do you prefer it to be silent?
With music.
What kind of?
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll. Do you have a favorite?
Imagine Dragons and Fall Out Boy.
Okay, excellent. I like music too, but mine is like lo-fi hip-hop.
For me, it depends on the task. If I need to use my brain in the creativity, then no, silence. If I'm free-flowing, then sure, a little music. But yeah.
Yeah, I like music. If I'm trying to get amped up for a big project, usually I'll go with 90s hip hop.
90s hip-hop too, yeah.
Kind
I
of
love
a
it.
bust a move kind of girl.
Yeah, 90s all day for sure.
Awesome. What is one word to describe the art studio?
Very beautiful.
Magical.
Special.
Yeah. And then I hear that you love a good dad joke.
Oh, I do.
Yeah? Do you have a favorite dad joke that you could tell?
What did the sushi say to the bee?
I don't know.
Wasabi.
Excellent. I love it. Well, thanks for humoring me with some quick anecdotes. Let's jump right in. Let's start with learning a little bit more about the art studio. Artisan Corner is a pretty remarkable place. I love visiting myself. Tell me what the mission is.
Artisan Corner is a skill building and development program for artists like Liz that have a very creative sort of energy, that are looking to find their vibe, maybe work with some mentors, figure out how to build on the abilities that they naturally have to do something they love that they can earn an income making, right?
Yep.
So it opens up a calm and comforting and creative space where you can be with peers that are also in their creative space.
Yep.
You can choose to socialize or not socialize, right?
Yep.
And some pretty remarkable artwork comes out of our place, doesn't it?
Indeed.
Like, we see a lot of new people, don't we? Liz has been with me for a while now.
Yep.
But we see a lot of new people when they come in, they're like, I can't draw a stick figure. So we start with, like, what's your favorite color? What kind of music do you like to listen to? Do you have any art that inspires you in your phone or stuff that you like? Do you watch cartoons? You like anime,
Yep.
manga,
Definitely.
graphic novels?
Yep. I'm actually working on a graphic novel right now.
So it's pretty cool that you have peers in the space too. Like, you've made some friends there, right?
Lots of friends.
Yeah. So do they encourage you with your artwork?
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. So that's one of the most magical things about the place, is that everybody supports everybody else. It's not just the mentors and volunteers and our team. It's also the other artists. They encourage the new artists to kind of find out what they like, and there's no judgment, right? They're always
No
like,
judgment.
yeah, it's always like kind of beautiful to see how putting somebody new in the mix, and they all pick up and are just very encouraging to everyone else too. So
I love it. How did it start? How did Artisan Corner begin?
So they had Studio West. So they had some art and recreation that was going on. They were making like wind chimes and things out of recycled stuff. That's how they kind of started. They had 4 or 5 people that were interested in crafting some things. And Studio West was mainly like a paint and pour studio. That's what paid the rent there in that building, is having a paint and pour studio in there. And then they were able to sell some things that were made by 4 or 5 artists that they had originally in 2011. In 2015, you want the long story or the short story?
You know, the stories I love are the long ones.
Let's get comfortable. So in 2015, I was helping out a friend in a restaurant. He had a problem with hostesses that were always calling out. And they were like 16 years old and beautiful, but every beautiful lake day, they were like, I'm sick. And they wouldn't come in. So my husband and I had been taking our kids to these restaurants forever. We knew the owners, we knew the management, we knew half the staff, we knew everybody there. And I said, if you ever are short a hostess like that, just give me a call. I have a restaurant background. My parents were directors of operations for 27 restaurants across the tri-state area when I was a kid. So we had a lot of restaurant experience in our family. And I was like, I'll come in. You know, you have to pay me, but I'll come in. And so I had just started there, and I think it was my first day out of training, and the vice president of Work Skills and her husband had come in for dinner, and I was talking to them, took them over to their table, and they were dressed in corporate attire at like 9 o'clock on a Friday night. Right. Mm-hmm. And I said, I have the perfect waitress for you. And Anita put down the menus, and she said, I don't want to make another decision today. What's good on the menu? So I said, well, we have a surf and turf for $15, right? Mm-hmm. And you get your filet, your lobster, you get everything with it, and you don't have to make another decision except for what sides you want on your potato and what salad dressing you want and what you would like to drink. Let me get your waitress. And she said, what do you really do? And I said, I have an art studio in my house. Mm-hmm. I'm an artist, and I have a professional little studio, and I do pretty well with that, and I do a lot of things there. I have a website and stuff like that. She goes, can I see? And she motioned for me to sit down. So I sat down next to her and I showed her my website, and she goes, amazing, right? And she said, so have you ever done ceramics, anything like that? And I was like, I've done them in high school. And she said, we'll need to talk later. So they had a really nice meal. I was packing up, cleaning up, getting ready to leave for the day, and I stopped by her table just to see how everything was. And she said, come here and talk to me. So I sat down with her and I talked to her, and she was like, can you believe she has an art studio in her house? And she slapped the table. And I was like, okay.
What's happening?
Right. And she's talking to Tom, her husband, that we all know now. Mm-hmm. And she like kicked at him under the table. Like, can you believe it? And she said, can you show me your website? And I did. And she said, and we talked a few minutes more. And she said, how would you like to be like a creative director at a very special art studio? And I said, I hadn't really thought about it, but yes, please. Mm-hmm. And she said, I will text you. And she got my information. And she texted me from the parking lot.
Of course,
I had an interview Monday morning at 8 a.m. And the really funny thing about that day was that morning when I was sitting at the bus stop with my daughter, who was about 8 or 9 at the time, she was in the back of the car and she was like, Mom, if you were little like me, what would you want to do when you grow up? And I was like, well, I love what I do. I'm an artist. I get to stay at home with you guys. And she said, no, if you were little like me and you wanted to be something, what would you want to be? And I said, I don't know. I guess I always wanted to be an art teacher. Mm-hmm. And it was that same night that all of that happened and took place. So when you talk about something manifesting right in front of your eyes, it was like the craziest thing ever.
It was meant to be.
Like, if I tell this story, nobody's going to believe how this just happened. It was amazing. So my very first interview, I came back for a second interview where I had to make something with some clients, and I had 4 people that were interested out of that population, and they came back and I worked with them. And Anita, I went to her afterwards when they all got on their buses, and she said, so how did you like it? I said, if you don't hire me, I'm going to cry all the way home. Yeah. And she pretty much brought me in for a second interview and hired me on the spot. So that was 11 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I love it. So I think that's pretty clear that it was meant to be, and it's inspiring for you to be here as well. What about you? What inspires you to join?
So I have a kind of a funny story like that too. So I originally met the Work Skills crew 18 years ago, and I was their Verizon rep. I took care of their entire account. I worked at a store in town, and the old owner, Rod, was the original one that I had met, and I took care of them. Years later, I had moved on from that position, and I was selling cars, and I seen Tina, our president of the company. And the funny thing about these stories is this is exactly who they are as people, right? And exactly who they are as bosses. So we talked a little bit, and she's like, "What are you doing here?" Picked my brain, and we kind of left it at that. And she's like, And you could just tell she had these thoughts.
Oh, yeah.
And probably 6 months later, I left that company and went out on my own, and we were at a golf outing for the Brighton Chamber of Commerce. And I was in a golf cart, and Tina and her husband were right in front of us, and they were in their golf cart. And she turned around and she's like, "Oh, Gracie," And she's like, "What are you doing now? Are you still at the car dealership?" And I said, "No, actually I'm not." And she said, "Well, funny enough, I have a gig that might be right up your alley. You're like really crafty, right?" I said, "Yeah, I am." She's like, "Okay, so I have this gig. I'm not even going to tell you about it now. Can you come in on Monday and we'll talk all about it?" I came in that Monday, and I started by that Friday. And that was in 2020. And here we are, 5.5 years later.
Yeah.
And
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. How long have you been with the program?
For a few years now.
Yeah. Do you remember your first day?
Frankly, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome. Yeah. What I find really interesting is that there are a handful of new people like myself, but there's so many that have the longevity and have been a part of the story for so many years. And it's pretty remarkable that we get to join it. Yeah. Well, thank you. Just one more question about the studio in particular. Like, what do you think makes Artisan Corner so unique?
The fact that they accept any and all artists and help them achieve great things.
Yeah, that makes it really special. I agree. Yeah.
Our art studio, when you walk in, you feel everybody's heart. It's not just art on paper. You feel heart in the room, and it makes you not want to leave.
That's true. You can't have a bad day when you're in Artisan's Corner. That's true.
Yeah. That's why the accountants walk through at least once or twice a day.
Yeah. You see maintenance walking through, and they have nothing to fix.
Right. Just to hang with the cool kids for a minute.
Yeah.
Right, Liz?
Yep.
I love it. So, I have actually been able to see firsthand how art builds confidence and independence just from my visits in the Artisan Corner as well. Tell me about your experience and how you have seen that as well over time with the artists.
So it's funny how, like, Liz knows because she's been with us for a few years now, right? I think when we moved into this studio 3 years ago, were you in the little room at all?
The one near the offices?
Yes. So it's been about 5 years.
Yep.
Yeah. So when we see
Awesome.
new people come in and they're always like, "Oh, I can't draw," or "I don't know how to do this," or "I don't know how to do that," it was like, "Well, what do you know how to do? What do you like to do?" And we just start so simply, and we watch people progress, even if it's just a little bit at a time. It's every victory, every small victory adds up to a lot of progress over time, right?
Yep.
So one of the things that we did together was we tried to make a storyboard for your graphic novel. So it was a little bit easier to put things in perspective and in order. And you do a lot digitally too, like on the iPad.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and you write. You're a fantastic writer.
Yep. I write lots of stories, basically.
So are they realistic stories? Are they fantasy?
No, the fantasy.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool. The characters that you invent. She has a drawing for each character, and their special powers.
Definitely special powers.
Right, their colors.
Yep.
Right, and what else? There's a lot that you use to describe the characters when you're describing what they can do. Right. So she has a really good imagination for how descriptive her characters are. But when it came to painting, you like to paint. You also do resin.
Yep.
So we have some little resin things that we have that you have made in a collaboration. Do you want to talk about how those are made?
Basically, we put the molds and we pour the resin in the molds after mixing half and half. Mm-hmm. And then we get these little things.
Yeah, but these are really special. What I love about them is it's like there's glitter or there's confetti inside.
Yep.
Yeah, these are incredible. I love them.
So it is a pretty cool collaboration between you and Sam, right? Who you've become very good friends with.
Yep.
So did you know how to do them at first? Did you just know?
No.
So you weren't very confident, right?
Exactly.
And then we break it down in smaller steps so that we know how to do it, who's good at doing what, and then we make it a collaborative using skills that Sam has that she's comfortable with, using skills that you have that you're comfortable with, and they can come up with a pretty cool project that we can sell and make you some money, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Tell me about your friendship with Sam. Like, what are some things that you love to do with Sam? I know that you guys are really close friends that you met through the program, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
We did.
That's awesome.
One of my favorite things to do is just hang out with her over the weekend and play video games with her.
Yeah. You sound like my kids too. They love video games and hanging with friends on the weekend as well. So a couple questions about, the art as a whole. I know that when I first came in and I was visiting it, I thought that it was going to be one thing, and I was pleasantly surprised that it was something that was completely different. So, how do you feel the misconceptions around art, or Artisan's Corner? From a personal standpoint, when I first came in and I was seeing the intricate art that was being done and how it wasn't just a painting or a picture, it was everything else that you can build out. So like with your design of cats and being able to take an image that you created and then put it onto other sellable items was really awe-inspiring for me. I think that misconception that I had to learn very quickly was the amount of talent that is seen at Artisan's Corner. I'm curious if you have had anybody that have come to visit or if that's been impactful for you as well.
So do you remember when your parents came in and they were looking at all of the paintings and they were like, wow, this is really cool. I think it definitely inspired when we had different events and Liz's parents came in for the first time. I think seeing the expressions on their face about the artwork that she was doing, they got very excited, and all of a sudden they wanted one for grandma, one for auntie, one for and just seeing it in print. I think your mom was more excited about the sublimation end of things than any of the moms ever. When she came in and she saw the cat painting for the first time.
Yep.
Who bought that fun thing? Did your mom buy that? Did she get it in time?
Yep.
She had dibs, right? Didn't they have dibs? Because
they had
everyone
dibs.
wanted to buy that painting.
Yeah.
Everyone. So when we got it into print and sublimation, Gracie can talk a little bit about that process too. That was very exciting because Liz's mom come in and dropped like $300.
Oh, it's so easy. And for the record, none of the artwork is really all that expensive. Everything is very approachable in price point, but it's all amazing pieces, so it's definitely easy to spend $300.
Yep.
I'm not shocked.
No, everything's pretty affordable in the boutique. We call it functional art. as much as it is art, we want you to use it. And so in order to use it, it needs to be
Useful.
cost appropriate, right? And so, yeah. Liz, don't you guys have a cat that is like reddish orange like this?
Yep.
Yeah. So when you say inspiring, sometimes we have a painting and then you take something in your life and you're like, ooh, we're going to make that cat red because I have a red cat, right?
Yep.
And so sublimation, since you brought up sublimation, that's my job at Work Skills and in the Artisan Corner. And so sublimation is permanent dye printing. In the craft world, we see that kind of all over the place now. Work Skills has been doing it since 2017. So 2017, nobody knew what sublimation was. Mm-hmm. And so back in 2017, the sublimation station is what we like to call it. It started off as volunteers. We didn't have a ton of consistency back in 2017, but we had a few items that everybody loved, coffee mugs, coasters, things like that. So now in 2026, we have grown our inventory to probably about 130 items. We have countless designs. I would love to tell you how many designs we have, but I don't know. We switch out our designs for the seasons. And so when you come into our boutique, depending on what season it is, you may see something that you've never seen before. And no matter what it is, if you see something like Liz's cats and you come into our boutique and you're like, ooh, but I want that cutting board, but I don't see it. The sublimation station, what is so special is we will put whatever you want on whatever you want. Yeah. So
I think the night lights have been like our viral kind of
biggest
thing,
seller, yeah.
the biggest thing.
Yeah,
those
so
are really cute.
night lights came last summer. Jenny Burns is another piece of our Artisan Corner. She's in the back. You can't see her right now, but she is the master orderer. And so everything you see in that boutique would not be there if she did not find our supplies. And so the night lights, we were very excited about night lights, and our clients, our customers were even more excited than we were. Mm-hmm. We cannot keep them in stock. And so when you come in and you see only a few of them in our light up display, do know we will put any design on a nightlight for you.
Yeah, I love that. And when we talk about the art, this is not how it starts, but what are the types of artwork that you're actually doing during your time when you're in Artisan Corner? I know you do painting and the ceramics. What other artwork do you focus on, and how do you get inspiration on, different artists?
Well, it depends on the artist's ability, right? Sometimes, not everybody wants to make jewelry. It can be tedious. Like, I'm not a big fan of sitting and making jewelry. I like buying handmade jewelry, but I don't like creating it. We have artists we call the beadaholics, right, Liz? And they love to make jewelry every single day. We have folks that are we just started recently doing like loom weaving.
Oh, yeah.
And loom knitting. And we have people that will not stop doing it now that they have learned a new skill. That's all they want to do when they come in, and that's fine. We will feed that creativity, and then we will find better looms, better yarn, better quality things, and think of all the things that they can make doing something that they love to do. And that's kind of our process about everything, isn't it? We'll try to be inspired by something. For this, it was kind of like a Halloween cats. We saw some artwork that had cats in it. We'll usually look everything on the internet we can look at and see if we find something that inspires a painting that might connect with an artisan, and then figure out how to do an authentic version of that. Yeah. Right? So it really depends on the individual. And that's what makes our program so special too, is that we have so many people we have 68 people that are involved in the Artisan program right now, that are either on virtually. They're optional people from off the work floor that they don't come in every day, but if they want to come in, we always have a seat for them. And then we have about 60 that are worked through the schedule throughout the week. Some artisans come about 18 hours a week. They're there like almost every day. Now we're up to like 24, I think, for like artisans like Miranda and some of your other friends that are there 24 hours a week. And so they need to change and do things differently throughout the day. So we have pointillism, which is made with what?
Pins.
Pins, push pins,
It's
and
one of my favorite
bulletin
things.
boards.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen it,
So cool.
Yeah, it's really cool, and it's very therapeutic. Like even the accountants like to come in and push the pins into stuff once in a while.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Art is universal. And I feel like what is really special about Artisan Corner, too, is that it does a really beautiful job of meeting people exactly where they're at. And so I know that, maybe somebody comes in and they're feeling apprehensive about their own talents, but then week over week, they begin to shine and develop. And it's encouraging to see. Even like the large canvases that are collaborative are incredible. But then we have other artists that like to, maybe assemble and put things together. And what's really beautiful is that there's a space for every level of that, wherever anybody is at in their own growth. And that's really special. Yeah, and I think it's really cool, too, that you started with, 4 people?
Yeah.
And now how many did you say? Almost 70, right?
Yeah, we're almost at 70.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty telling of that.
Yeah, I want to throw a shout out real quick to a member of our team that was a little nervous to do a first podcast in here with us, and that's Jenny Burns. Jenny is an amazing addition to our art team. She's been with Artisan Corner for 5 years? 5 years now. And we couldn't do half of the stuff that we do at Artisan Corner without her. She's just integral to everything. She took right off like a duck to water when she started with us, huh?
Yep.
And we're so thankful to have her and Gracie as part of the art team, because with Gracie we have the sublimation, all the printing, and a lot of wonderful creative ideas that go from art to sublimation and just plain painting now because she's taken up to painting herself, right? And with Jenny is wonderful at figuring out where people are at and getting like beads for the beadaholics that are going to make a beautiful pattern that would be great for the next season, that are great for selling. And she kind of preempts intuitively like where we're going to go next. So, and a lot of us, when we get into the studio, we just kind of know where to go next, what direction we're going in. And wherever I leave off, Gracie picks up. Wherever Gracie leaves off, Jenny might pick up. And so we have a very functional team that works really well with you guys. What do you think of Jenny?
She's awesome.
Yeah. What do you think of Gracie?
She's even more awesome.
Yeah.
You're
Sorry,
just saying
Jenny.
that because I'm in front of you.
We do have a really remarkable team, and I know that like one of the biggest things that drew me just to connect with all of you is the heart posture, right? Is that people at Work Skills in general, Work Skills Foundation, Artisan Corner, it's not about helping, it's about serving, and it's about meeting people exactly where they are and then helping them blossom to get to that next level. And I feel like Artisan's Corner is such a beautiful way that, that happens. Let's talk a little bit more about the opportunities that the artists actually receive through the program itself.
So, well, we have a boutique, right?
Yep.
So if you create something and it's immediately sublimatable, we all look at it, we're like, wow, we're gonna run some samples on this for sure. We go and we run samples, and then you guys get a sublimation check once the design gets approved. Whether we sell anything and make any money or not, they get $100 right off the bat.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty nice when that happens, right?
Yep.
And we also have our boutique for all of our handmaids. We have our Etsy shop. We have links right on the top of our Facebook and our Instagram. We're on social media, so you can see all like the latest things. All the links are right at the top of the pages and things like that. And we also do a lot of art competitions. What are we getting ready for?
Oliver Fair.
Ellerville Fair.
That's a good one.
Do you have to be like an expert painter to enter? No. So it's really, really artist friendly. And they get ribbons, they get places. Last year we got Best in Show. Emily got it. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. And we had the families go in and you get to eat junk food and go on all the rides too.
Yes.
I hope there's elephant ears. I mean, count me in.
It's all good stuff. And we're preparing for one of the biggest shows that we do, which is Art Prize. And the way that it works out in the timeline, right after Christmas in January, we start preparing for the planning of our art projects. And sometimes we use nail guns. Yeah. And we make very big pieces of art for Art Prize. We've done it since 2021. It's a really big deal to get accepted because they have thousands and thousands of submissions. So they have international submissions and submissions from artists all over the country. We've been accepted every year that we've submitted.
That's incredible.
So that's really cool. And then last year we got top 20.
Yep.
Top 20 out of 1,100 artists that were accepted. We got top 20 with our pointillism of Einstein made completely out of repurposed bottle caps.
Yeah,
So-
it's very impressive. Not just even from the topic, but the size, the stature of it is incredible.
So it is 8 feet tall and 6 feet wide. And if you come over for a tour, you can see we have Einstein, we have John Lennon, not quite as big, but very impressive. We do the Heartland Art Walk art show every year. John Lennon won the previous year. So won that, and 4 artists got to split $1,000 prize, which was really
That's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of community involvement there, and then talk about let's hear how you can actually earn paychecks, right? And because the whole idea with Work Skills and how it began was making sure that people that had to overcome barriers, they had these stepping stones where you could learn a new skill and then use that to earn a living, but also to have a better life. So with regards to Artisan Corner, talk about that.
So how you make money selling art?
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the ways that you can earn income is not only to get something in sublimation where you get a big check all at once, but like our beadaholics, we know, and I rope Liz in wherever I can with the beadaholics and give her bracelets every once in a while because the bracelets are small, they're affordable, they're all beautiful. They're
so cute.
seasonal. We have everything from like for our glitter bugs to our mermaid beads to our galaxy beads. We even have glow in the dark beads, right?
Yep.
We have all kinds of cool stuff. All the beach things are coming out now. And when you sell the bracelets, they get income from everything that we sell, whether it's bracelets or ceramics or the art that hangs on the walls. And it might be something that that is supplemental, right? Because Work Skills, you get a paycheck for working on the work floor.
Yep.
And I would say about a third of the artists that are in the art program also work on the work floor as well. So they do small parts assembly. And so you get paid for that, and then the bonus is getting to hang out with all the creatives, do creative stuff, and get like extra money in your check for art. They only get paid if their artwork is sublimated and chosen for the season, or if they sell something. So we encourage people to come out and go in our boutique and go on our Etsy. We do domestic shipping all over the country. Is not free, but we do ship anywhere in the country for you, and you can choose like priority or express or whatever. But it's like a nice little perk that we do have an Etsy shop because we can get stuff listed for you. You can make custom requests, and you could ship it out to your uncle in Texas, or your brother in California. We're always sending stuff out to Vegas because Sammy D has a brother that's a doctor out there. So we send stuff out to Vegas a lot. But we're not doing international shipping just because the cost, custom slips, things like that. Some things get hung up and we have no way to track it. That's how you make money.
And our boutique is open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30. And so if you do want to ship something internationally, feel free to come by it and you can ship it yourself. If you come in to shop in the boutique and there's somebody readily available, we'll take you around and give you a mini tour. We love to introduce you to the artist or take you back into my area and you can see how everything is made.
Yeah, I love that too. And I feel like anytime that somebody comes to visit, and if it's a tour or if it's just a quick walkthrough, you're just changed by it because you get to see how incredibly talented the people that we get to work with every day truly are. So yeah, we always encourage that and always want you to come and visit. Let's just talk a little bit more about some of the impact that you have received, either as an artist or just being a part of Artisan Corner. I know that, especially with you being a part of it for so long and starting with such a small group and seeing it flourish over time, is there an artist that really changed the way that you see things, or somebody that really made an impact in your life?
Sure. Do you remember Garrett?
Yes, I actually have one of his paintings in my room.
Yeah. So one of the first artists that made an impact on me was Garrett Jones. Garrett came in, and he came in with a social worker and a CMH worker and his mom. And they came in as a group for a tour. And his mom told me that he was interested in art. And I noticed that he was carrying like 10 sketchbooks and his phone. So while they were talking and touring the art room, I asked him very quietly, I said, "Are those your sketchbooks?" And he nodded yes. And I said, "May I see them?" And he nodded yes. And so I opened up his sketchbook, and picture after picture, you remember, was My Little Pony. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, you're a brony. Have you ever been to the comic book store in Brighton?" And he said, "Yes." And he spoke to me. And I said, "Do you know that they have bronies? They have meetings in there?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "Do you have more pictures in your phone?" And he said, "Yes." And then I pulled him into a chair, and we sat in my office while they were all visiting and talking to the other artists. And I said, "Can you tell me a little bit about your art?" And we were sitting having a conversation, and we looked up, and all three of the people he came in with were bawling.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, he belongs here. Like,
Yeah.
we're his people.
Yeah.
So he started with us, and every drawing that he had was done in colored pencil. And I said, "Have you ever painted?" And he said no. And Mom said he had some sensory issues with like wet things. And so we started with colored pencils. I had this box of, do you remember the box of inspiration? Where people would go through and pull out the pictures. I had like Van Gogh in there, Picasso. I had Gustav Klimt, Kandinsky stuff. And then we had like graffiti, urban art. We had all kinds of different art in there. And I would let newer folks go through there. I would hand it to them, and they would go through the whole box and pull out stuff that kind of spoke to them. I think we need to make another one, right?
Yes.
Now that we're in the new room. And he pulled out Van Gogh's Starry Night and Sunflowers. That's what he pulled out. I was like, okay, well, this is your vibe. Let's draw this, and we'll do it with colored pencils, and we'll see how it turns out. And he did it in his style. He did Starry Night, and it was super cool. And I was like, this is awesome. Can I frame that? And he said, yes. I said, can I have it? He said, yes. I was like, cool. So the next one he did, I encouraged him to do with markers, and he did. And I was like, can I have that? Yes. Can I frame it? Yes. So the next one I said, I think we could sell these and make you some money. Everybody likes money, right?
Yep.
If we could just take it one step further, I have these special markers, and they were actually paint markers. I said, you could use those, right? So he's using the paint markers, and he's painting Starry Night with paint markers, and it's very small. And someone came in, and it was only halfway done, and they said, can I buy that? And he said, yes. And he said, how much? About $600? And I was like, oh, I think maybe 25. Would that be good? And he's like, yes. So right there, we're like making deals. He's learning. He's growing in confidence. He's using paint, right? So the next one we did was a double. It was 2 canvases together that made Starry Night. And every one of them got better and better and better with the practice. And it was all in his own style of doing it, which is super cool. It's like very illustrative, right? Like our paint cabinet. And then that one sold before it was even finished. So he's growing in ways that are just remarkable, right?
Yeah.
He's talking to people. He's engaging with people that are walking in the room that like his art now. He's painting.
Confidence.
A little bit, right? So then after that one sold, we decided to do a triptych. This triptych is as big as this table put together. So we get through the whole most of it, 90% of it is done in paint markers. And I knew we were going to run out with the little red roofs of the churches and the town and the village, right? So we get to the red and we have no more paint left in the paint marker that's red. And what he didn't realize was that over 6 months, I was moving paint and painting people closer to him down a 24-foot table until he was more comfortable with paint being there. And right within his vicinity, this is pretty tricky. Maybe I shouldn't tell you that I did this. I had the perfect red paint in the perfect little dish with the perfect brand new paintbrush sitting right there. And he said, I know. I'll use that and I'll paint the roofs red.
Yeah.
And he picked up his first paintbrush and he painted those little red roofs, right? And it was funny because when someone has like a sensitivity to like wet things, right? He painted as far away as he could get back from the table and still reach where he needed to reach with the paint. But he painted for the very first time ever. It was such a great moment. The triptych, of course, sold. I think it sold to Susie.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, amazing. And so he was very excited. It was the biggest paycheck that he had ever got, and he was so excited to paint that as we ran out of each paint color, he started to paint with a brush. So his very next project, we had our paint cabinet that we take pictures of in front of all the time. So I said, we have this ugly gray paint cabinet. I'll give you $50 out of my pocket if you paint it to look like Starry Night. He said, okay. Challenge accepted. And he drew out Starry Night all over the cabinet and the drawers and all the doors that open up. He even got the inside. And then it took him 4 months to paint it. But he started out painting it as far away as he could get with the paintbrush. And by the time he got to the bottom, to the town, he was crisscross applesauce and he was painting just like this.
Yeah.
Right? And he took off painting. Now Garrett has had a studio set up in his home by me and his mom. And he has a Facebook fan page. And he's been painting folk art on furniture
That's so
for
cool.
a living. And he quit my program. Like he is our first artist to go on to successfully start a micro business, be online, have a presence, go from somebody who wouldn't really, was so shy, he wouldn't speak to anyone, to now he'll talk to anyone about his art and his business and things like that. So that is he's the very first artist to make an impact on me in that way.
Yeah, that's incredible. And that is a testament of when you have someone who is consistently believing in you and championing for you and giving you those opportunities to grow week over week, month over month is where you really begin to shine. So thanks for sharing that story about Garrett.
Thanks for
I love
asking.
it. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, when I think about impact in the art studio, it makes my voice falter a little bit, right? Because it's not just one. You guys. For me, the art room is the slowdown that I don't know that I need when I come in. And the phrase, I can't, is thrown out the window, right? And the impact that I feel is seeing all of them do what they didn't know that they could do.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys, we're gonna have to come back to that.
Well, I mean that's why we're all here, and it's because we get to see people like Liz, right? And we get to be a part of something that's so much bigger than anything that we could even think about achieving on our own. And so the impact is really, it should tug at your heartstrings because it's, that's what it does. It's a beautiful space with beautiful people. I was actually just in the art room about a week ago, and you had mentioned the pins.
The pointillism.
Pointillism, yeah, thank you. And so what that is it's a canvas, and it has little colors behind it, and then you take these tiny push pins and you can place them into creating a really special piece of artwork. And I was talking to one of our artists, her name is Nicole, And I asked her what did she like about it, and she said that it's challenging and that is, she hasn't, I mean, so perfectly stated, she hadn't had an opportunity to use her fine motor skills in a way that was challenging, and she loved to see the process where she started and the art that was created at the end. So yeah, it's an emotional place, and it's the best place.
Do you want to talk about the golf outing?
So I think that we should talk about the community involvement, and then like how we want to, maybe what we should do is let's talk about the next steps, like the personal questions, like what are the big dreams that you have for you as an artist or for the Artisan Corner, and then we can wrap up with how the community can get involved. Does that feel good?
Yeah.
Are there any other questions, or is there anything else that you wanted to talk about that maybe I've overlooked?
No, I don't think so. I think between my outline and your really good like outline of the outline, I think we're covering a lot of territory here.
Okay. 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 That's where I was.
You're in good company.
No, yeah.
Okay, I got it.
Go ahead and reset.
Yeah. So we learned a lot about where Artisan Corner started, the impact, the people that we get to work with every day. I'd love to hear what your big dreams are for those next steps, on what you would love to see for Artisan Corner, for artists, for yourself, and then how the community can be a part of it.
So one of the things that we always have need of, right, are like supplies.
Very much so.
Space and room, right? So we've gotten so busy, and we've had so many new people join up that we're always like running out of space and things like that. We've got these awesome new cabinets that we just got in to store a lot of our supplies and inventory, so that makes more room on the tables, so we can fit more people that can do bigger pieces of artwork.
Yep.
My biggest dream, besides like having enough money to fund all the supplies we need, because we always need paintbrushes and paint and canvas and beads and all the things, right?
Yep.
And easels, right? We need some big easels right now, as a matter of fact. But my biggest dream would be is if we had a studio downtown where we could be a part of all the big events that are downtown. If that could be maybe fully funded by someone in the community that could donate the rent of a building, right? So that we could be right downtown in the middle of everything. We could interact more with the public, and we could have tours all the time, and we would have a lot more access to sell your art, make you some more money.
Yep.
Right? And more money is a good thing.
Especially when you live on a budget.
Yeah, we are the best kept secret in Livingston County, and we very much don't want to be. We want everybody to know kind of what we do, how we do it, meet our wonderful artists, come in and see us doing the things that we do, and having sublimation right there in that studio would be a perfect way to say, yeah, you can have that printed on this. We can have that ready for you in 10 minutes. You know what I mean? We do gift baskets. We have our Etsy shop online, but we really don't have a lot of foot traffic. So coming in, getting a tour, coming into our boutique, we have gift bags, we have gift tissue, we have artisans have a business card that has our little Etsy shop QR on the back, and all of our social media. They can follow us on Facebook. That would be wonderful to have some more followers in the community. But my biggest dream is that we would have our own building downtown.
Yeah, a brick and mortar in downtown Brighton sounds pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, we experienced that, and we want that back. So my biggest dream for Artisan Corner is that everybody in Livingston County would know who we are and what we're doing, right? Our mission is too important to our people for people to not know who we are.
Yeah.
That's the dream.
Yeah. My big dream too is to piggyback into being the best kept secret of Livingston County. Is that what that means to me is that the mission is so strong, but there hasn't been enough opportunity to connect with the people that are living in the same community and where we're serving. And one of the biggest things that I would love to see too is not just having a space, but having the ability for more people to join. From a personal standpoint, we have a lot of friends that have kiddos that are in their younger years, but aren't really sure what is going to take place after they graduate. Mm-hmm. And with work skills, we have all of these wonderful opportunities to really just continue to grow and to blossom. Mm-hmm. And so for me, being able to integrate into the schools so that way they know that those next steps are available and that we'll be with them every step of the way is really important to me. And I think the best way to do that is to get involved with work skills as a whole. The foundation is in place to help support financially. Where maybe traditional fundraising would have to say no, we get to say yes. Mm-hmm. And because of the partnerships that we have in the community, whether they're individuals or if they're businesses, they are the backbone, and they are what allows us to serve people like Liz mm-hmm. and help to give you the tools that you can use to be successful for your own life. And so when it comes to individuals, we have a lot of opportunities, even if it's just volunteering to start. That's a great way just to get acclimated, coming in and having those tours and getting to know us and know our amazing population of people that we get to work with every day. It's really important. We have an entire group called WOW, which stands for Women of Work Skills, which is a wonderful program of women who really believe in what we are doing. And we get together and come up with creative ways, not just fundraising, but how we can support the people that we truly serve. We have businesses that really help from a financial standpoint, and they're called our vision partners. And so we're really grateful for all of those opportunities that they provide as well. So there's a lot of different ways for the community to get involved, and we are really thankful for the collaboration. Did I miss anything?
No, you didn't miss anything. I will say, you said just volunteers. There's no just behind volunteers. You're never just a volunteer with us. You are an absolute piece that makes the puzzle fit, right? Mm-hmm. Volunteers are needed as soon as next Monday. So I'll put a shameless little part out there. Opportunities 2026. This is our 18th annual golf outing. This is 1 week away. So if you see this before Monday and you want to help out, you absolutely can. Opportunities, the golf outing, like I said, 18th annual is at Oak Point Country Club. This is our biggest fundraiser of the year. Last year, we raised over $75,000.
Nice.
And we're going to do it again this year.
Better.
We're already better, but it's okay. The theme this year is graffiti on the green. We haven't had a theme in a lot of different years. And yes, so this is the new logo. Our golfers know that every year is fun and exciting. What you don't know about this year is it is going to be the most fun and exciting. And so we have interactive art. We have a silent auction of art pieces. We have a lot of new pieces of the golf outing that the public is all going to see bits and pieces of it afterwards. We're gonna share some of that marketing so that way next year, if you want to be involved, you absolutely can. So. Mm-hmm. I don't think you guys missed anything though. So.
Oh, you know what? Let me piggyback off that.
Yeah.
Just to add that any mentors from the community, if somebody is crafty, if they're a fiber artist, if they know how to crochet, if they love photography. Think about one of our artists like Austin who loves is it micro photography where they take pictures of the bugs like really close up and stuff. He's very interested in nature and insects. He rescues us from all of our insects that try to break into the studio from the playground. So if we have mentors in the community that are into photography, art, metalworking, working with clay. I'm not a sculptor. That may have more skills as a ceramicist because they are a ceramicist. They can come in, and we have 2 kilns. We have a commercial size and a small size kiln. Anyone basically that wants to come in and just hang with the cool people, right? Maybe they don't know how to do a lot of artsy things, but they would just like to come in and sort of anchor with someone and hang out with someone. We have opportunities for that as well.
That's awesome. And the best way to connect is either through our website or just give us a call and we can get the right people in place, right?
Yeah. We can set up tours pretty much Monday through Friday from 8 to 4:30. From 8 to 3:30 for a tour, right? Because we close around 4:30 or 5 o'clock, depending on the day. But we have tours all the time, don't we?
Definitely.
Yeah.
And if you want our boutique to pop up in your business, we can do that as well.
Oh, the pop-ups.
Pop-ups are huge for us. Yeah. Lake Trust is a big one for us. MSU is another big one for us. We pop up our boutique right in the middle of their business, and their employees get to shop, and then they get to hear our mission, and then they spread the word for us. I think that's the biggest part that we need is for the public to start sharing the word, right? Sharing our mission just like it's yours, because it is, right? It's everybody's mission in this community.
So maybe a quick wrap up.
Yeah, you go ahead and just do a quick wrap up, just like how you opened it, and I think you'll be good.
All right. Anything else that you wanted to add, Liz?
Nothing at all.
Okay.
Go on ahead.
Okay, awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm really excited that we were able to get together, learn more about you, Liz, hear more about Artisan Corner and how impactful it is for our community and how we can all chip in and get involved. I also wanted to say a thank you to Wayne Media Group for letting us host here today. It's a beautiful space. And for all of our sponsors that help us to do wonderful things like this with not just our artisans, but with our staff as well. So a shout out for Lake Trust, EP Wealth, Hub, Michigan State University, Financial Credit Union, Patrick Financial Group, and then again, Wayne Media. Thank you so much.